One of the most important characters in anime is none other than the rival. Usually taking the form of a humongous obstacle that the hero must overcome, the rival pushes him beyond his limits. You'll see these characters as opposites of the hero in terms of personality, motivation, or philosophy. With the abundance of awesome rivalries in anime throughout the years, I'm here to present some interesting rivalries that the medium's brought to us. On this list, we go through 10 of the best rivalries in anime. Asta and Yuno of Black Clover kick things off. Childhood friends and foster brothers, Asta and Yuno share an interesting relationship. Growing up together, both characters are competing for the title of Magic Emperor with a sense of mutual respect. However, it didn't all start out this way. Asta's the one who inspired Yuno to be the Magic Emperor thanks to his actions. Of course, being the person that he was at the start of the series, Asta's lack of magic and hyperactive tendencies turned his foster brother cold towards him. But we always knew deep down he always believed and respected Asta. Next up at number 9 is the rivalry between Zoro and Sanji. It's an understatement to say the Straw Hat's master swordsman and chef had a rough start. Always fighting one another, you could say they're always at each other's throats even over the pettiest matters. The rivalry runs deep and has roots with the two pirates' philosophies, with the earliest of this being shown in Nami's Arlong arc. Now the two develop a mutual respect for each other's fighting skills and their combination in battle is unstoppable. They also have a deep sense of trust towards each other and their rivalries allowed them to know each other quite well. Beyond the insults and nicknames are two valuable members of the crew whose friendship's been forged by fire. The rivalry between Ippo and Sendo's at number 8 on the list. In a shonen anime, you'd expect the hot-blooded Sendo to be the protagonist, but instead, he's one of the key rivals. With his fiery, reckless attitude, he's an ideal foil for Ippo, who handed him his first loss on screen. In spite of the contrasting personalities, Ippo and Sendo have more similarities than what can be seen on the surface. Both have a similar fighting style, family backgrounds and goals in boxing, but outside the ring, the two are friends. Maybe this is the reason why their two bouts are hype-filled matches. It seems that the two are built to be each other's worthy opponents. Coming in at number 7 is Midoriya and Bakugo's rivalry. In most shonen shows, we see the wide-eyed and idealistic main character paired with the more realistic, cynical equal. That's why I find it quite nice actually that My Hero Academia just changed things up a little bit. Instead of pairing our protagonist with the obvious choice, Todoroki, he gets paired with his childhood friend and eventual bully, Bakugo. Throughout the season, Midoriya and Bakugo's friction-filled relationship continues and is made more intense with Deku getting the better of Mr. Explosions a couple of times. Despite the fighting and antagonism between them, they manage to work together on rare occasion, and it's not only once Bakugo's let his true feelings out. The relationship between the rivals runs deep and is complicated, anchored by a notable case of jealousy on the part of Bakugo. Shizuo's legendary conflict with Izaya put that rivalry in the 6th spot. The battles between Shizuo and Izaya are well known throughout Ikebukuro as they have one of the most antagonistic relationships in all of Durarara. How can they not fight? After all, they're major opposites to each other. In fact, it's hate at first sight for the two, with Shizuo throwing the first punch and Izaya responding in kind. While Shizuo is impulsive and direct with his actions, Izaya is cerebral, calm and manipulative, a noticeable characteristic of a troll who's beyond good and evil. The hatred between the two stems from a simple exchange. Shizuo immediately sees Izaya for what he is, and Izaya can't accept that this dumb brute of a man can see through his plots and scheming. Before we continue, I'd like to give a shout out to this video sponsor, Brick Breaker Quest. Brick Breaker Quest's a new game for the iOS and Android platform by Mobirix where you shoot balls at bricks in order to knock them out. It's a great free-to-play game to relax your mind with tons of different stages and various types of balls. It's really easy to get into with its simple game system designed for one handheld gameplay. And guess what? You can even play this game offline. So if you don't know what to do while your Wi-Fi's down, well, just play this game. There's an achievement and leaderboard system supported by the game, so if you think you can beat my score, go to the link in the description and download the game. At number 5, we have the rivalry between Alucard and Anderson. It's just right that the world's strongest vampire has the Vatican's ultimate vampire hunter for a rival. Don't you agree with that? In addition to being peers in strength with multiple similarities, the two are fitting polar opposites in nature. They seem destined to battle, and it shows in their actions as the series progresses. There's respect between the two, with Alucard acknowledging Anderson's will and desire to destroy a mighty vampire like him. Anderson's the only opponent worthy of respect from Alucard. Unfortunately, this deeply rooted respect comes to an end once Anderson gave up his humanity in his bid to destroy the vampire. Rounding out our pre-top 3 list is the pair of Naruto and Sasuke. Has anyone not heard of this rivalry? Naruto and Sasuke are perfect foils to each other. While Naruto is loud, dreamy, and idealistic, Sasuke is quiet, analytical, and cynical. On a serious level, Sasuke is also filled with hatred, a stark contrast to his friendly and understanding rival. What's even more notable is that Sasuke's never got power creep like most shonen rivals. He remained an integral part of the story right up until the end. I never really felt throughout the story that Sasuke had truly been usurped by his rival in the power rankings. He's frequently ahead of the main protagonist in terms of power level, making this rivalry one with an intrigue-filled endpoint as the series went on. It's only fitting that they have their decisive showdown as the last battle of the series. Sasuke is the embodiment of all the philosophies and struggles that Naruto had to go through in his hero's journey, and it's fitting that he ends his adventure with a good old one-on-one with his rival. Starting off our top 3 is the rivalry featuring the duo of Kenshin and Saito. Kenshin and Saito are two swordsmen who've had their share of history. Fighting for opposite sides in the Bakumatsu era, there's no love lost between the two when they encountered each other after the war. Unlike Sanosuke, who's a rival turned friend, Saito was never converted by Kenshin to his side, and in all of his appearances, he was shown to be in tip-top shape, as if he's ready to have another epic duel with Kenshin. In spite of the antagonism between the pair, they've shown themselves to be more than capable allies. They've teamed up on numerous occasions, most notably the battle against Shishio. The two may be rivals, but they also show a deep respect for each other's prowess, with Kenshin considering the former member of the Shinsengumi a trustworthy companion. Our runner-up is the rivalry between Goku and Vegeta. You can't have a rivalry list without good old Goku and Vegeta now, can we? This rivalry is about as classic anime rivalry as you can get. I don't think this rivalry needs much explaining at all, actually. While around half of Dragon Ball's opponents can be considered a rival to Goku, none of their rivalries have as much legacy as Vegeta's. Starting out as a villain, Vegeta's frequent battles with his peer lead him to breaking out as a character and becoming a series mainstay to provide a parallel to our main hero. It wouldn't surprise me if Vegeta's the first thing in anime fans' minds when it comes to naming a rival character. He's not just a rival, he's the rival in anime. The competitive nature of the relationship between them has codified the archetype of the shonen anime rival for years to come. When it's all said and done, what else could top this rivalry? Well, actually, there is one in my opinion, and it's coming up next. At last, at number 1, we have the glorious rivalry between Light and L. Did you see this one coming, eh? If you've been watching anime during the late 2000s, you probably predicted this rivalry showing up somewhere on this list. The core attraction of Death Note is Light and L's rivalry. Notably, the two of them never actually fight directly. Instead, their battles take the form of mental duels and attempts at outmaneuvering each other. You see, L knows that Light is Kira, but he has no proof of that to expose it. On the other hand, Light doesn't know L's real name, so he can't just kill the detective in order to get him off his trail. The game of cat and mouse between the two geniuses is what Death Note prides itself on. According to a lot of people, the series seemed to lose its shine when the Battle of the Brains came to an end. L's replacements never had that charisma that he possessed, and while they were successful in defeating Light, it just felt underwhelming instead of cathartic.
キラ必ずお前を探し出して始末する僕が私が正義だ
And with that, we conclude the list. I'm sure that there are a lot more that I couldn't include due to time constraints, but I'm really interested in hearing your opinions on some of the key rivalries in anime. Who else do you think deserves a spot on this list? Comment below and let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, like, share and subscribe. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, please consider joining the channel membership. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out our sponsors game Brick Breaker Quest. Links in the description. I'll see you next time on ViniTube.